Welcome to the Day Report. I am Ben Day and we are here today in Steamboat Springs, Colorado for the first stage of the USA Pro Challenge. Today the riders faced a two-lap circuit totaling 155 kilometers. This is arguably one of the easiest stages on paper for this year's tour, but the question would be, would the heavier, more powerful riders make it over the climbs in order to contest the sprint finale in downtown Steamboat Springs? Something that is often hard to convey in the sport of cycling is the difficulty that the riders face in order to make it into the key breakaway of each stage. In today's race, UnitedHealthcare's Jonny Clarke did it the hard way by bridging across to a five-man group early on in the stage. Once there, he was able to secure enough King of the Mountain points in order to take the lead in the KOM competition, and tomorrow he'll be wearing that jersey. Let's have a look at what it took to make this happen. We're here with Jonny Clarke. Great work today, Jonny, getting across to the move. It looks like you had to bridge across to five riders who were already up the road. How was it out there?
I got across late with Jordan Kirby from Drapac. It was kind of one of those things where the road's about to shut and I just got through, so it was good. Once we got out there, it was pretty mellow. You don't want to go too hard because then the bunch will chase too hard and then they'll bring you back. Concerning the KOMs, the first one I tried to hit them early, about 700 out, and they ended up catching me. And the second one, I kind of went mano a mano and was able to win the sprint, so it was good.
Yeah, you're definitely looking good out there, and wearing the KOM jersey for tomorrow, which is awesome. Well done. Question for you, bridging across to that move, are you thinking at all about judging your effort, or is it just like full gas trying to get across there as fast as you can?
I think at altitude, there's always a little bit of thinking about judging your effort. I mean, you're at sea level, you're just holding on, you're just going full gas. But I think a little bit at altitude, you're thinking maybe I have to temper this a little bit, but a bit of both.
So in the heat of that moment, are you using your perceived exertion? Are you feeling what your limits are? Are you using heart rate? Are you using power? What are the gauges that you're using for that bridge?
Just perceived exertion. I mean, when you're looking at a break and you're coming across, you can tell how fast you're closing on them. So maybe you're going to get there, or you're actually thinking if I don't step on it now, we're going to get there. We've got to get there straight away. But today I kind of looked around and the bunch had spread across the road and we were making up ground fast, so it wasn't too big of a deal.
And I'd assume, many years in the trenches of suffering out there in these races, none of them are easy, that you have a pretty good feel of what that limit is with your body.
Yeah, I think so. I've spent a lot of time up here at altitude preparing for these races, so I mean, yeah, you definitely learn the limit, and you learn to go over it as well sometimes, I suppose.
Awesome, Jonny. Great work today. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, boss.
So here we have Jonny Clarke's power file from today's stage of the USA Pro Challenge. You can see at the beginning of the stage there are quite a lot of attacks, and he had to make many accelerations in order to go with the race and try to launch a few attacks of his own in order to make the breakaway of the day. In one period of 11 minutes, he had to average 350 watts, which, when taking into account the effect of altitude, which at 7,000 feet reduces your lactate threshold by approximately 7 to 8%, was an impressive effort. The moment he chose to go across to the breakaway coincided with a lull in the peloton, and this coincided with what Jonny's feedback was before. So as you can see on the file here, over a 27-second period, Jonny averaged 677 watts in his traverse to get across to the breakaway, which essentially wasn't too difficult. At kilometre 35, we see Jonny launch an early attack and attempt to take the KOM points with 1 minute and 47 seconds at 504 watts. Here, he finished second in the mountain sprint. Here we have zoomed out to show that after the first KOM, Jonny went into conservation mode. During this period, as you can see with the dotted line here, Jonny rarely put out any power over 300 watts in order to save energy for the next KOM coming up on the second lap. At this point, he waited a little bit later, and for 1 minute and 17 seconds, he averaged 489 watts to secure maximum points and the KOM jersey going into day 2 of the race. Join us for tomorrow's stage, where the riders will race from Steamboat Springs up to Arapahoe Basin. The final ascent of 7 kilometres up to an elevation of over 10,000 feet will surely leave the riders gasping for air.